video poker project. We've completed phase 1 of designing our interface, and now we're ready to begin coding. And in this phase, we're going to code the basic gameplay of drawing the cards. I'm going to double click on my form to go to the underlying code. I'm going to get my properties panel out of the way. I'm going to come up to the very top here. We have all our using statements. I'm going to add some comments here, and I like to do this at the top of my programs, is just do a block comment with a line of asterisk. And then I'll do the copyright symbol, which is hold down the Alt key and type 0169 is the keyboard shortcut for that. So I'm going to type copyright. And this one I originally did in 2012. My modification is in 2020, so I'm going to put both of those there. And then I'll put my name. On the next line, I'm going to put the purpose. This was created as a demonstration / assignment for CIS 162 AD at South Mountain Community College. I'm going to put the location as Phoenix, Arizona, and then I'll add kind of the general day of spring 2020. And then my contact information. And I'll conclude that with a row of asterisk. Okay, so we have our using statements, our namespace, our form 1 initialize, and in front of that form 1 initialize, I want to add my class level variables. And again, I'm going to use a block comment. I'm going to organize my code with these block comments. So this is just saying here at the beginning are all of our class level variables. I like to put those at the very beginning. And we're going to create an integer variable called balance. We're going to initially set it equal to 0. An integer variable called bet will also be equal to 0. And one for payout, also initialized as being 0. We're going to use the random number generator, and I'm just going to call my random object RND. So it's going to equal a new random object. I'm going to have a string, and this string is going to be an array. I'm going to call it current hand. And it's going to equal a new string array. And I want to have 6 elements. So it's going to go from 0 to 5. And we're going to use this to keep track of what our 5 cards are. We're going to ignore that first element 0, so we're working with numbers 1 through 5. Do the same thing with an integer array. This one's going to be called card face. It'll equal a new integer array of size 6. And another string array. This one will be card suit. So let's keep track which cards are hearts, diamonds, spades, and clubs. So it's a new string with 6 elements. So we're going to use those 2 variables later as we're determining the winning hand. We want to know, is it a straight? Well, we want to make sure that the card face values are sequentially in a range of 5. We want to know if it's a pair, so there should be 2 values in card face that would be the same. 2 pair would have 2 different card face values that are the same. A 4 of a kind or a 3 of a kind, we'd have 3 or 4 card face values that are the same. And then for a flush, we would use the card suit, and if all 5 of those are the same value, we know we have a flush. So those are going to become much more important down the road. We're just going to go ahead and create them now. And then here comes the trickier one, is I want a string array that's going to be called cards. We're going to set this equal to some values here, and so I'm going to have 53 values, and to lay those out, I'm going to do this across a few lines so we can make sure we don't miss anything. The very first one is BB, and these are all going to be in quotes, and BB stands for the back of the card. That's going to be the South Mountain card back that we saw earlier. And each of these are going to be comma separated. So we're going to start with our spades. And I want an S2 for the deuce of spades, and then an S3, and an S4, S5, and so forth. For the 10, I'm going to use the letter T. SJ for the jack of spades, SQ for the queen of spades, SK for the king, and SA for the ace. I'm going to put a comma after the SA literal string, go down to the next line. I'm going to space over to get all those cards, and I'm just going to simply copy those and paste, and we're going to change all of the S's in the second line to H's. These are going to be for the hearts suit. By lining these up like this, it's a great way to make sure that we don't leave the card out. And we can easily count that we have enough, that we have all of the cards in our project referenced. Again, I'm going to paste and space these out. And this is going to be our diamonds. They need to be in this order, spades, hearts, and diamonds, because that's the order of our images. I'm going to get rid of that last comma and put a semicolon after my closing bracket. So the nice thing about having this all lined up, we can make sure that we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, T, J, Q, K, and A in all 4 lines, and that each line goes looking down that column, S, H, D, C in all 4 of those lines. So it's real visually easy to make sure I didn't make a mistake. I want another array that's going to be of type integer, and I'm going to call it used cards. And we're going to use this as we shuffle the cards and make sure we don't get any repetitions in playing the hand. So it's also going to be have 53 elements in it. That first one would be the back of the card, we'll ignore, and then elements 1 through 53 would be the various cards, and we'll keep track of whether we use those or not in each hand. So I might put some comments here, something like used in randomly drawing the cards from the deck. And of course I want 2 slashes there. And on the card face and card suit, it's going to add a comment used for determining the winning hands. And that's going to be true for both of those. And the one above that on current hand, used to track the cards in the hand. I'm going to add two more variables. I want a Boolean variable called initial draw complete. And we're going to use this in keeping track of whether we've drawn the first cards or the second cards. That's going to initially equal false. And then another Boolean variable of second draw complete. So each time we play this game, we're going to have two draws of the cards. And we'll set that equal to false. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the C# Xamarin Programming Cohort playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos that I create, you can click my picture up in the top right and subscribe to the channel.